Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare states $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're going to shine a spotlight on one particularly special coin, the 2008 Oklahoma $quarter. If you're a coin lover or just curious about what makes certain coins so precious, you're in for a treat. This little piece of U.S. history is more than just pocket change. Today, we'll reveal why it's worth so much and what makes it stand out among other state quarters. Let's start with a little bit of history about the Oklahoma quarter. As part of the 50 state quarters program, the Oklahoma quarter was released in 2008, marking Oklahoma's place in the Union with a design that reflects the state's unique heritage and culture. The front side features a classic depiction of George Washington, but it's the back side of the coin, the reverse, that holds the real value. The design features a vibrant representation of the Oklahoma landscape, showcasing the iconic scissor-tailed flycatcher, a bird that is symbolic of the state. You'll also see a branch of a native Oklahoma fruit tree and a depiction of a windmill, reflecting the state's agricultural roots. It's a beautiful coin, isn't it? But what truly sets this Oklahoma quarter apart from the rest isn't just its design or symbolism. It's the rarity and the errors found in a select few of these coins that make them highly sought after by collectors. Now, let's dive deeper into what makes this coin so rare, and why some collectors are willing to pay top dollar for it. As you probably know, most coins are mass-produced, and it's fairly easy to find them in circulation. However, with the Oklahoma quarter, there are a few distinct errors that have made certain editions extremely valuable. One of the biggest reasons for its high worth is the die error that occurred during its minting. In the production process, sometimes the dies, those metal stamps that imprint the design onto the coin, can become damaged or misaligned. This is a common mistake in coin production, but when it happens, the result is a rare error coin that becomes highly collectible. For the Oklahoma quarter, some of these errors were more noticeable than others. These could range from misaligned strikes, where the design on the coin isn't perfectly centered, to double strikes where some parts of the design are repeated or show up in an unusual way. These mistakes, though small and subtle, are highly valued by collectors because they represent a flaw in an otherwise perfect mass-produced set of coins. Another feature that makes this coin stand out is its condition. Most coins that have circulated through the years are worn down and show signs of use, but those that have remained in pristine condition, either from being kept in mint condition or carefully stored, are worth far more than their face value. The Oklahoma quarter, when found in uncirculated condition, can be especially valuable. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that have no wear and tear, as they're considered much more rare and unique. So, you might be wondering, what exactly makes this specific Oklahoma quarter worth such a high price? The key lies in the combination of rarity and error. When you find one of these Oklahoma quarters with a noticeable die error or in pristine uncirculated condition, it becomes more than just a regular coin. It turns into a highly prized piece of numismatic history, a must-have for serious collectors who are looking to complete their sets or find that one coin that will complete their collection. Now, we're not talking about just any Oklahoma quarter. We're talking about the rare minting errors and the incredibly well-preserved coins that have been carefully stored away by savvy collectors. If you happen to find one of these in your collection or stumble upon one in an old jar of change, you could be holding onto something worth far more than you ever expected. In fact, the value of some of these coins has been known to reach as high as $59,000. Yes, you heard that right, $59,000 for a single Oklahoma quarter. So, if you've got one of these coins, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Now, how do you tell if your Oklahoma quarter is worth that much? Well, first, take a close look at the coin. Check for any signs of minting errors, things like misaligned designs, double strikes, or any other irregularities in the coin's appearance. Next, assess its condition. The better the condition, the higher its potential value. Coins that have been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition are incredibly rare, especially for those that were in regular circulation. But how do you go about selling one of these rare coins if you happen to have one? If you think your Oklahoma quarter could be worth something special, the first step is to get it appraised by a professional. Numismatists, or coin experts, can tell you whether your coin has the characteristics that make it valuable. From there, you can decide whether you want to hold on to it for your collection or cash in on its value. For those of you who are just starting your collection, the Oklahoma quarter from 2008 is a must-have. Not only does it commemorate Oklahoma's rich cultural heritage, but it also serves as a reminder of how important it is to pay attention to the details. Sometimes, what seems like an ordinary coin might just be hiding a story, or a fortune, waiting to be uncovered. As a coin lover, it's always exciting to think about the potential value of your collection. And with the Oklahoma quarter, you never know, your next find could be worth a lot more than you imagine. So, remember to check your quarters, look closely for those rare minting errors, and keep an eye out for coins in excellent condition. You just might discover a piece of history that could be worth $59,000, that's right, $59,000 for a single coin. Top 2, we're going to talk about a coin that might just surprise you, the 2002 Louisiana quarter. This coin isn't just part of the 50-state quarters program, it's a fascinating piece of history and, as we'll reveal, it can be worth a lot more than its face value. If you've ever wondered how a small coin can turn into a big treasure, stick around as we dive into what makes this particular quarter so valuable. First off, let's explore the history of this special coin. Released in 2002, the Louisiana quarter is the 18th coin in the U.S. Mint's 50-state quarter series, which was designed to honor each state with its own unique design. Louisiana, known for its rich culture, jazz music, and vibrant history, is represented beautifully on the reverse side of the quarter. The design features an image of the famous pelican, the state bird, along with the state's nickname, Pelican State, and a depiction of a leafy branch from the state tree, the bald cypress. This design captures the essence of Louisiana's natural beauty and its place in American history, but what really sets the 2002 Louisiana quarter apart from the rest is the rarity and errors that make certain editions incredibly valuable. Most coins that are released in such large quantities don't really stand out, but the Louisiana quarter has some unique characteristics that have made it a collector's dream. One of the key reasons this coin has gained so much attention is due to the minting errors that occurred during its production. These errors, often subtle but incredibly rare, can increase a coin's value by thousands of dollars. Coins with double dies, misaligned strikes, or overlapping designs are particularly sought after. These mistakes aren't something you'd typically see in a regular quarter, but they do happen occasionally during the minting process. These errors happen when the dies used to imprint the design onto the coin are misaligned or malfunction. As a result, a coin might have a blurry or doubled image, giving it a distinctive look. For collectors, these error coins are highly prized, because they're one of a kind. If you manage to find a Louisiana quarter with one of these errors, you could have a real treasure in your hands. But it's not just about the errors, the condition of the coin also plays a huge role in its value. Coins that have been kept in excellent condition, free from wear and tear, are far more valuable than those that have been in circulation for years. The more pristine the coin, the higher its worth. So, if you find a Louisiana quarter that looks as if it just came out of the mint, you might have something special on your hands. Now, let's talk about the value of this coin. While most Louisiana quarters are worth their face value of 25 cents, there are rare editions that have sold for significantly more. How much more, you ask? Well, if you happen to come across one of these error coins or a quarter in mint condition, it could be worth $54,000. That's right, $54,000 for a single Louisiana quarter. You may be wondering, how do you know if your coin is worth that much? Well, first, check for any minting errors. Look closely for any doubling in the design, especially around the pelican, the branch, or the state name. A double die can sometimes cause parts of the design to appear blurry or stacked on top of each other. Next, inspect the coin's condition. If the quarter is in near-perfect, uncirculated condition, meaning it doesn't show signs of wear or damage, it could be much more valuable than you think. If you find that your Louisiana quarter has any of these rare features, your next step should be to get it appraised by a professional numismatist. A professional can help you determine the coin's authenticity and value, and in some cases, they might even help you sell it to the right buyer who's willing to pay top dollar for such a unique piece. But here's the thing, finding a Louisiana quarter with a minting error or in perfect condition isn't easy. These coins are rare, and while they were widely circulated, most have been subject to wear over the years. That's why coins that have been carefully preserved or those with rare errors stand out and are so highly prized by collectors. For those of you just starting to build your coin collection, the 2002 Louisiana quarter is a great coin to keep an eye on. Not only does it represent the unique culture and history of Louisiana, but it's also a reminder of how even a small, seemingly ordinary coin can hold extraordinary value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just beginning to explore the world of numismatics, this quarter is a must-have for any collection. Imagine holding in your hands a piece of American history, knowing that it could be worth a fortune. The Louisiana quarter is a perfect example of how the world of coin collecting can turn up surprises, and how the right coin, at the right time, can change everything. So, if you've got a jar of old change lying around, don't just toss those quarters aside. Take a good look at them. That ordinary-looking quarter might just be hiding something extraordinary. And remember, if you find a Louisiana quarter with a minting error or in perfect condition, it could be worth $54,000, yes, $54,000 for a single coin. Top 3, we're diving deep into a coin that's sure to get your heart racing, the 1999 Delaware quarter. While quarters are often dismissed as everyday pocket change, this particular coin is far from ordinary. If you've ever wondered how a simple coin can end up being worth tens of thousands of dollars, you're in for a real treat. Stay with me as we explore the fascinating history, rarity, and potential value of this incredibly unique quarter. The Delaware quarter was released in 1999 as part of the U.S. Mint's 50-state quarters program, which honored each of the 50 states with a unique design. Delaware, as the first state to join the Union, holds a special place in American history. The quarter features an iconic image of Caesar Rodney, a Delaware hero who made a legendary midnight ride to Philadelphia to cast his vote for independence. The design also includes Delaware's state motto, Liberty and Independence, encapsulating the state's proud and pivotal role in America's founding. At first glance, the 1999 Delaware quarter might look like just another coin in the series. But what sets it apart, and what makes it a sought-after piece for collectors, is its rarity and the minting errors that occurred during its production. These errors are key to understanding why some Delaware quarters can be worth so much money. You see, when the U.S. Mint strikes coins, sometimes errors happen in the process. These can range from misaligned designs to double strikes, where parts of the image appear twice. Even small mistakes like these can significantly increase a coin's value. For the Delaware quarter, there are a few specific errors that collectors look out for, and some of them can make this coin incredibly rare, an incredibly expensive. One of the most sought-after errors for this particular quarter is the double die error. A double die happens when the design is stamped onto the coin more than once, creating a blurry or overlapping effect. This can be most noticeable on the Liberty inscription, or on Caesar Rodney's figure, making it stand out as an unmistakable flaw. A double die error coin is not just a mistake, it's a piece of history, making it more valuable to collectors. But that's not all. Misaligned strikes are another error that can occur during the minting process. When a coin is struck off-center, the design may not appear in the right place. In some cases, part of the image may even be cut off, making the coin look unusual and unique. This kind of mistake might seem minor, but in the world of coin collecting, these coins are considered rare, and the rarer the coin, the more valuable it becomes. Now, let's talk about condition, which is equally important when it comes to determining a coin's value. The majority of coins that circulated after being released in 1999 have seen some wear and tear. This wear can diminish a coin's value. However, if you happen to find a Delaware quarter that's in mint condition, meaning it has never been used in transactions and shows no signs of wear, it becomes a highly prized specimen. Collectors often pay top dollar for coins in uncirculated condition, especially when combined with an error or rare feature. And speaking of value, here's the exciting part. If you're lucky enough to come across a 1999 Delaware quarter that's in excellent condition or features one of these minting errors, you could be sitting on a coin worth a lot more than just 25 cents. In fact, these rare specimens have been known to fetch as much as $63,000. Yes, you heard that right, $63,000 for a single coin. Imagine that for a moment, a simple quarter, once considered pocket change, potentially being worth tens of thousands of dollars. It's a remarkable reminder that in the world of numismatics, seemingly ordinary coins can hold extraordinary value, depending on their history, rarity, and condition. So, how can you tell if you found one of these rare and valuable Delaware quarters? First, examine the design closely for any signs of a double die or misaligned strike. You'll want to look for any overlapping images or blurry inscriptions, especially around the word Liberty or Caesar Rodney's face. Second, assess the condition of the coin. If it looks as if it just came from the mint, without any noticeable scratches, dents, or discoloration, it's likely a mint state coin, which could dramatically increase its worth. If you happen to find one of these rare pieces, your next step should be to get it appraised by a professional. A certified numismatist will be able to examine the coin, verify its authenticity, and give you an accurate value. From there, you can decide whether to sell it, add it to your collection, or simply hold on to it as a rare treasure that's only going to become more valuable with time. Now, some of you might be thinking, why do minting errors make a coin so valuable? Well, it all comes down to rarity. Most coins are produced without error, so the few that do have flaws are incredibly rare and highly collectible. These errors make the coin unique and give collectors something to chase after. The more people who want a coin, the higher the price tends to go. In the case of the Delaware quarter, errors like the double die or misaligned strike turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a piece of numismatic history, making it something to treasure and seek out. In the world of coin collecting, it's all about finding that hidden gem, whether it's an overlooked error coin or one in perfect condition. So, the next time you're going through your pocket change or flipping through a jar of old coins, take a second look at your 1999 Delaware quarters. They could very well be the key to a windfall. To wrap up, remember that coin collecting isn't just about holding on to old currency. It's about appreciating the history, rarity, and sometimes, the surprises that these small pieces of metal can hold. And who knows? Your next discovery could be worth $63,000, that's right, $63,000, for a single Delaware quarter. Top 4, we're diving into one of the most intriguing coins of recent years, the 2020 Salt River Bay Quarter. This isn't just any regular quarter, it's part of the America the Beautiful series, a collection of coins that highlights the natural beauty and history of the United States. But what makes the Salt River Bay Quarter so special? Well, buckle up because you're about to learn why this coin might just be worth far more than the 25 cents printed on its face. Let's start with a bit of background on the coin. Released in 2020, the Salt River Bay Quarter is part of the America the Beautiful series, which honors national parks and historic sites across the country. The Salt River Bay National Historical Park and Ecological Preserve, located in the U.S. Virgin Islands, is the subject of this particular quarter. This location is known for its rich history and stunning natural beauty, featuring a lush environment and a coastline filled with vibrant coral reefs. The design on the reverse side of the coin features a depiction of canoes paddling through the waters of the bay, capturing the essence of the site's heritage and the connection between the land and its people. While the design itself is beautiful and reflective of the island's history, it's the rarity and errors that make certain Salt River Bay quarters highly sought after by collectors. Let's talk about why this coin, in particular, has drawn so much attention and why it might be worth more than just pocket change. Like many coins, most Salt River Bay quarters that were produced are not rare. They were made in large numbers and were widely circulated. However, as with many coins, minting errors can happen during production, and these errors are what really set some coins apart from the rest. When the U.S. Mint strikes coins, they use dies that stamp the design onto each coin. Sometimes, those dies can become misaligned, damaged, or flawed in some way, which leads to minting errors. For the Salt River Bay Quarter, one of the most valuable errors collectors are on the lookout for is a double die. A double die error occurs when a coin is struck more than once during production, causing the design to appear twice or blurry in certain spots. This can happen in several parts of the coin's design, such as the canoes, the text, or the surrounding elements. This error, though subtle, makes the coin more unique and valuable, as there are very few with such imperfections in the market. Another potential error that can increase the coin's value is a misaligned strike, where the design on the coin doesn't line up correctly with the die. This results in a coin that appears off-center, with part of the image missing or misaligned. While these kinds of errors are often considered minor to the casual observer, they are incredibly desirable to collectors because they are rare and can add significant value to the coin. So, let's talk about the condition of the coin, which is equally important. A coin that has been well preserved, with little to no signs of wear or damage, is far more valuable than one that has been heavily circulated. An uncirculated Salt River Bay quarter, especially one with a minting error, is considered a gem in the world of coin collecting. These coins are difficult to come by, and when found in excellent condition, their value can skyrocket. A coin that has been kept in mint condition or proof quality could potentially fetch a much higher price on the market. Now, let's get to the exciting part, the value of these rare quarters. While most of the Salt River Bay quarters are worth their face value of 25 cents, the rare ones, especially those with minting errors or in uncirculated condition, can be worth a whole lot more. In fact, some of these coins have been known to sell for as much as $33,000, that's right, $33,000 for a single quarter. Yes, you heard that correctly. $33,000 for a coin that, at first glance, might seem like just another quarter. But when you consider the rarity, the errors, and the condition, it's easy to see why collectors are willing to pay such a premium for these coins. If you happen to stumble upon a Salt River Bay quarter with a double die error, a misaligned strike, or even one in perfect, uncirculated condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Now, how do you identify if you found one of these rare gems? The key is to examine the coin closely for any signs of minting errors. Look at the design carefully, especially the canoes and the surrounding elements, for any blurring, doubling, or misalignment. If the text or the images on the coin seem a little off or duplicated, you might have a double die error on your hands. Also, check the coin's condition. If it's been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition without any signs of wear or scratching, you could have a highly valuable coin that's ready to be appraised. So, what should you do if you think you found one of these rare and valuable coins? The first step is to get it professionally appraised by a numismatist. A professional can examine the coin in detail, verify its authenticity, and give you an accurate value. From there, you can decide if you want to sell it, hold on to it as part of your collection, or simply admire it as a small piece of history. The Salt River Bay quarter is a perfect example of how coin collecting isn't just about holding on to old currency. It's about understanding the history, the mistakes, and the rare finds that can turn an ordinary coin into something extraordinary. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a beginner, keep your eyes peeled for this beauty. It could be worth a lot more than you think. To sum it up, if you come across a Salt River Bay quarter with a minting error, or if you happen to find one in perfect condition, you could be holding on to a coin that might be worth as much as $33,000. Yes, $33,000 for a single quarter. Top 5, we're diving into one of the most fascinating coins in the history of the U.S. Mint, the 2004 Florida quarter. Now, we all know that quarters are a common sight in our pocket change, but did you know that certain quarters can actually be worth far more than just 25 cents? In fact, the Florida 2004 quarter could be hiding in plain sight, and if you're lucky enough to find one in the right condition, it might just be worth a lot more than you ever expected. Let's take a trip back in time and talk about the 2004 Florida quarter, which was part of the 50-state quarters program. If you've been following U.S. coinage history, you probably already know that this program was designed to celebrate the unique history, culture, and beauty of each state. Florida was the 27th state to join the Union, and its quarter honors the state's diverse ecosystems, its rich history, and its beautiful coastlines. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find a stunning image of a bald eagle in flight, with the state's iconic Everglades landscape in the background. The phrase, "Gateway to Discovery," surrounds the design, paying homage to Florida's role in early exploration. Now, let's talk about what makes this quarter not only a beautiful piece of history but also one that's highly sought after by collectors. While most of the Florida quarters that were released are still circulating and only worth their face value of 25 cents, the real value comes from finding one of these quarters with rare minting errors. And let me tell you, some of these mistakes can make a coin worth thousands of dollars. So, what types of errors are we talking about? Well, in the world of coin collecting, there are a few common minting errors that can drastically increase the value of a coin, and the Florida 2004 quarter is no exception. One of the most common errors collectors look for is a double die. A double die error occurs when the coin's design is struck multiple times, causing a blurred or doubled appearance on the image or text. This can sometimes be hard to spot with the naked eye, but if you closely examine the wording on the coin, such as the phrase, "Gateway to Discovery," or the surrounding elements, you might see double impressions. This is a highly sought-after error, and when it appears on a coin like the Florida quarter, it becomes an instant prize for numismatists. Another error that makes these quarters incredibly valuable is a misaligned strike. A misaligned strike happens when the design of the coin doesn't line up properly with the planchet, the blank metal disc that gets stamped. This results in a coin that looks off-center, and part of the design may even be cut off, creating a distinct and rare appearance. For collectors, misaligned strikes are a highly collectible error because they make the coin unique and one of a kind. If you find a Florida 2004 quarter with this kind of error, it could be worth far more than just a regular quarter, but wait, there's more. If you happen to come across a Florida quarter that's in mint condition, that also adds another layer of value. As with any coin, condition is key. Most of these coins were used in daily transactions, which means many of them have signs of wear and tear. However, if you manage to find one that looks as if it just came from the US Mint, sharp details, brilliant luster, and no visible scratches or discoloration, then you might be holding onto a pristine specimen that collectors will pay top dollar for. Now, I know you're wondering, what's the real value of these rare coins? If you're lucky enough to have a Florida 2004 quarter in near-perfect condition or with one of those rare minting errors, you could be looking at a coin worth as much as $47,000. That's right, $47,000 for a single quarter. Imagine that, a quarter, a coin that many people toss around every day, could be worth a small fortune. So, how do you know if you found one of these rare Florida quarters? Here's what to look for: minting errors. Double die errors or misaligned strikes are what you need to be on the lookout for. Examine the design carefully for any signs of doubling or misalignment. If you notice any of these, you might just have a rare find. Condition. The coin's condition is just as important as any errors it may have. If the coin looks brand new and doesn't show any signs of wear, it's considered uncirculated and will definitely be worth more than a coin that's been through years of circulation. Professional appraisal. If you suspect you found a rare Florida quarter, it's always best to get it appraised by a professional numismatist. They can authenticate the coin, verify any errors, and give you a proper valuation. Coin collecting is a thrilling hobby that allows you to discover treasures that might have been overlooked by others. Coins like the Florida 2004 quarter are a perfect example of how a small mistake or rarity can turn an ordinary piece of currency into a highly valuable treasure. With minting errors like double dies or misaligned strikes, these coins can be a real gem for anyone looking to expand their collection or potentially make a profit. So, what do you think? Do you have a Florida 2004 quarter in your collection? If so, take a closer look at it. You never know, you could be holding onto a coin worth a lot more than just its face value. Whether it's a mistake from the minting process or simply a coin in excellent condition, this small piece of history could be worth $47,000. Yes, $47,000. Top 6. We're diving into something truly exciting: the 2004 Texas quarter. You may think, a quarter? It's just 25 cents. But stick with me because this coin is far more than meets the eye. The 2004 Texas quarter, released as part of the U.S. Mint's 50-state quarters program, has some rare features and minting errors that make it highly valuable to collectors. What seems like just a regular quarter could be worth a lot more than you'd expect, possibly thousands of dollars. Let's set the stage. Texas was the 28th state to join the Union, and the Texas Quarter was designed to celebrate the state's bold history and massive cultural impact. The reverse side of the coin features an iconic star with a lone bluebonnet flower, which is Texas' state flower. Beneath the star, you'll see the state motto, Friendship, symbolizing Texas' welcoming nature. The image of the lone star is a perfect representation of the state's pride and independence, and it's a wonderful addition to the America the Beautiful Quarter series. Now, while most of the Texas quarters you come across will be worth just 25 cents, a small group of these coins has something truly special, errors and rare conditions that make them extremely valuable. For coin collectors, these are the kind of treasures that make hunting through pocket change an exciting and potentially profitable adventure. One of the most desirable errors collectors look for in the 2004 Texas Quarter is the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck multiple times by the same die, leading to a blurry or doubled image on the coin. The star, the word Texas, or the bluebonnet flower could all have signs of doubling. A close inspection of the text or design on the coin is essential to identify a double die error. It may look like the design is slightly shifted or doubled, making it an incredibly unique and rare find. Another error to look out for is a misaligned strike. A misaligned strike occurs when the coin is struck off-center. This results in the design not lining up correctly on the coin, causing part of the image to be cut off or not present at all. It creates a one-of-a-kind appearance that's extremely rare and highly prized among collectors. If you find a 2004 Texas Quarter with this type of error, you've got a rare gem on your hands. So, what exactly makes these errors so important? Well, in the world of numismatics, collectors are always searching for the unique and the rare. Coins with imperfections or unusual characteristics are considered treasures because they tell a story of the minting process. A double die or misaligned strike means the coin didn't come out the way it was intended, making it an exceptional piece. These errors are rare by nature, and finding one is like striking gold in the world of coin collecting. But let's not forget the condition of the coin. The 2004 Texas Quarter is more than just its design and errors, it's also about how well it's been preserved. Most coins get used in daily transactions, which means they are often scratched, worn, and damaged. However, if you have a 2004 Texas Quarter in mint condition, with no scratches, discoloration, or wear, it's worth a lot more than just 25 cents. An uncirculated coin or one that has been carefully stored can make a huge difference in its value. Coins in excellent condition have the potential to fetch higher prices, especially when paired with a rare minting error. Now, I know what you're thinking, what is this coin really worth? Here's where things get exciting. The 2004 Texas Quarter, especially one with a double die error or misaligned strike, and in pristine condition, can sell for much more than face value. In fact, one of these rare quarters has been known to sell for $48,000, that's right, $48,000 for a single quarter. Imagine holding a quarter that could be worth a small fortune, just for being a little off-center or having a slight doubling in its design. It's truly amazing how a tiny mistake during the minting process can turn an ordinary coin into something incredibly valuable. For collectors, it's all about those rare and unique features that set a coin apart from the rest, and the 2004 Texas Quarter has plenty of them. So, how do you find out if you've got a valuable 2004 Texas Quarter on your hands? First, check for any minting errors. Look closely at the star, the text, and the bluebonnet flower. If any of these elements are doubled or misaligned, you could have a rare error coin. Next, inspect the condition. If the coin looks brand new, without any visible damage or wear, it's considered uncirculated and will be worth more. If you do find a quarter with a minting error or one in pristine condition, the next step is to have it appraised by a professional numismatist. They can confirm the rarity of the coin, assess its value, and give you an accurate price. If you've got a gem, you might even decide to sell it to other collectors who are willing to pay top dollar. The 2004 Texas Quarter is a perfect example of how the world of coin collecting can be filled with exciting surprises and hidden treasures. A simple quarter can turn into something worth thousands of dollars when you combine the right minting errors with the right condition. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, this is a coin you'll want to keep your eye on. Top 7 and last coin. we're uncovering a hidden treasure that might be sitting in your pocket change right now, the 2000 Virginia quarter. You may be wondering, it's just a quarter, right? But hold on to your seats, because this little coin could actually be worth much more than you think, way more. In fact, if you find one of these rare coins with the right minting errors or in pristine condition, it could be worth up to $50,000. Yes, you heard that right, $50,000 for a single quarter. So, let's dive into the fascinating history of this coin. The 2000 Virginia quarter was part of the 50-state quarters program, which began in 1999. Each coin in the series was designed to represent a different state, and Virginia, being the 10th state to join the Union, got its own special coin. The reverse side of the coin features a picture of the famous Jamestown settlement, commemorating the first permanent English settlement in America. This historic site, located in Virginia, played a critical role in the founding of the United States, and the quarter beautifully captures the state's deep roots in American history. The design is truly stunning. The coin showcases 3 ships representing the Susan Constant, the Godspeed, and the Discovery, all ships that brought English settlers to Jamestown in 1607. The depiction of these ships is a powerful symbol of the adventurous spirit of those early settlers and the legacy they left behind in shaping this country. But, as amazing as the design is, the real story here is about the rare features and errors that make this coin incredibly valuable to collectors. So, what makes the 2000 Virginia quarter stand out in the world of numismatics? Let's get into it. The first thing you should know is that while most of these coins are still worth their face value of 25 cents, minting errors can cause them to be worth a lot more, sometimes a lot more. And that's where the true value lies. One of the most sought-after errors on the Virginia quarter is the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck twice, leading to a blurry, doubled image on certain parts of the coin. If you examine the design closely, especially the ships, you might notice a double impression or the text, Virginia, or Jamestown, appearing doubled or out of place. This kind of error is extremely rare and can send the value of the coin through the roof. Another minting error that makes the Virginia quarter so desirable is the misaligned strike. A misaligned strike occurs when the design is not properly centered on the coin, causing part of the image to be cut off or shifted. Imagine part of the ship's sail or a section of the lettering being out of place. It creates a unique, off-center look that makes the coin stand out from the rest. Misaligned strikes are prized in the numismatic community because they are one-of-a-kind, making them incredibly valuable for collectors. It doesn't stop there. If you find the 2000 Virginia quarter in uncirculated condition, it's already a step ahead. Like most coins, the condition of the coin plays a massive role in determining its value. The more pristine and unworn a coin is, the more it's worth. Many of these quarters were used in circulation, meaning they show signs of wear, scratches, or tarnishing. However, a mint condition Virginia quarter, one that has never been used, could fetch a significantly higher price. When it comes to coins like these, the rarer the condition, the higher the price. So, what is this coin really worth? Well, the value of a 2000 Virginia quarter can vary depending on the minting errors it contains and its condition, but if you find one with a double die error, misaligned strike, and in uncirculated condition, you could be looking at a huge payday. In fact, a Virginia quarter with these characteristics has been known to sell for as much as $50,000. Yes, you heard me correctly, $50,000 for a single quarter. Can you imagine finding a coin like that? It's like striking gold in your pocket change. These kinds of finds are exactly what makes coin collecting so exciting. You never know when you might come across a coin that could change your life. Now, how do you know if you have a rare Virginia quarter on your hands? Here's what you need to do: examine the design, look carefully at the ships, the word Virginia, and the Jamestown text for any signs of doubling. If anything looks blurry or out of place, you might have a double die error. Check for misalignment. Take a close look at the coin to see if the design is off-center or misaligned in any way. This creates a unique look that's highly collectible. Assess the condition. Is your coin in mint condition, free from wear, scratches, and discoloration? If so, it's worth a lot more than just 25 cents. Get it appraised. If you suspect you have a rare coin, it's always a good idea to have it appraised by a professional numismatist. They can give you an accurate value and confirm whether your coin is a true gem.so. If you've been holding onto a 2000 Virginia quarter, make sure to give it a good look. It could be worth a lot more than you think. With its rare errors and unique design, this coin is one that every collector wants to have in their collection. Coin collecting is all about finding those hidden treasures, and the Virginia quarter is a perfect example of how a small error or an impeccable condition coin can turn into something worth thousands of dollars. If you're new to coin collecting, or if you've been doing it for years, keep your eyes peeled for these rare coins. Who knows? You might just find a $50,000 quarter in your change one day. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any future discoveries. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.